Well, today on Nation Window Cleaners Podcast, we're talking all about being a CEO, because you're a CEO. You're not a window cleaner. So if you're in business and you either want to grow, be stronger, be bigger, or just change a mindset, stay tuned to WCR Nation. What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and you are here. What is up? If you are here for the first time, have a look around. Got hundreds of episodes. Literally been doing this now for 8.5 years. It did a lot. Just go look, watch, listen, do all that fun stuff. If it's not your first time here, then thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. Hopefully, we spend some time hanging out. You listen to me babble, and we become best friends. That's what I hope. First, I just want to say thank you to everybody who buys from me, too. I say this all the time, and kind of gets numb to a lot of you, but there are so many people who take the time out to let me place orders. And yes, I do a shameless plug, letting myself, telling you guys about me. But I just genuinely want to take a second to say thank you. So anyway. But today, we are talking about one of the topics that I think is the hardest for people to understand. And I have to say it this way because if you ever jump on any of the Facebook groups, if you are on forums talking to window cleaners, any of that stuff, one of the most common things people have is they were like, how do we get bigger? How do we get more customers? How do we do all that? It all comes down to your mindset. And I'll tell you, I am the biggest proponent of getting off the truck. Like, I've, relatively said that term for 10 years. You gotta get off the truck. You gotta get off the truck. You gotta get off the truck. Oh. And a lot of times people kind of, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, but I don't know what to do. Let's do this. If we're talking here 30 minutes, I want to talk about mindset, and your mindset in particular. And that's why we named this episode, You're Not a Window Cleaner, You're a CEO, because the mindset of this whole thing is really what it's about. Because if you're a window cleaner, awesome. Obviously, we love window cleaning. I've been in the industry a very, very long time. But if you're a window cleaner, what's your job? You clean windows. Cool. In your company, that's one of the lowest paid positions. And I know, obviously, if you have, admins and things like that, it changes. But you can get somebody in on cleaning the actual windows relatively cheap. If you think that you're doing or saving or making more money because of that, because you're like, oh, no, I'm doing the windows, you are severely ruining your growth, your size, your strength, all of that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I like to talk to myself, apparently, in an office by myself. But this is a big one. Because a lot of times, and I'll tell you, I don't talk about my business a lot personally, but I can talk about things in generalities with other businesses too. And I know a guy who had bought a business. It was an existing business. Within the first 2 weeks, he fired 3 different people because he figured he could do that work. He's like, I'm going to make $300 because those 3 people each did $100. And I'm gonna make $300 by doing that. It's a smart business move. Absolutely dumb. And I'm going to tell you something before we get into all the buying triggers and failure, success, like value, all this stuff. Before we get into that, I want to literally tell you this. If anybody that is in your company is making $100 in production, right? When they go out, they do $100 an hour. That's standard, a little on the low end now, but we'll say standard. and you pay somebody $20 an hour. That means you're making $80 if they do it. $80 is yours. It's already yours. If you are now the window cleaner, what do? Well, I make $100, $100 an hour. No, because you did $80 an hour. If somebody else did it, what's left? 20. If you, the CEO of your company, the head, the president, the owner, the whatever, if you do the work, you're making $20 an hour because you're already getting the 80 if you didn't do it. And now guess what? You're trading in something that anybody could do for $20. You spend an hour of your big brain, of your advancements in the company and all of the things. You traded that to clean windows. Because in that hour, if you're cleaning windows, you are not doing things in your business. You're not doing things for your business. You're not doing anything about growth. You're not doing all of those things because you think you're making $100 an hour. And you're not. You're making 20. Because 80 would have been yours if you did it or somebody else did it. Okay? So putting that all out there is the mindset. Now, here's one of the worst things that we have in our industry. In any industry, actually, I'd say. Is in a service industry or a small business, there's a position called owner-operator. There is just the thought of being an owner. It means you do everything. That's fair, right? Owner-operator means I own the business and I do the work. And some of you go, well, this is why people hire me because I'm an owner-operator. Nope. That's the thing you focus on. So pretty much one of the only things they can think of, but they don't care about that. Because you're a bad hirer. That's probably a word. You could look it up. You're bad at hiring if you think that you're hiring people that because they're not the owner, they're not going to do a good job. Then you hired the wrong person. There are people who take pride in their work. No, everybody I hire, they just do crap. Well, you hired the wrong people. That's you. That's you. It's a mindset. Now, if I said to any other company that's not service, not, what we do, window cleaning, pressure washing, not roof cleaning, not lawn care, not anything in the service world. If I go up to a tech company, I go, oh man, you're the CEO? What pops into your head? What do you think they do? They're running the company. If I go, oh man, wow, you're the CEO? You're the CEO of this, you got 500 employees and you're the CEO? Not one of your brain. Not one of your brain. I think I had a stroke this morning. I'm sorry. Not one of you thinks, oh, he's the guy that sweeps or changes the garbage. He's the guy that, runs and gets coffee for all the other. No. You're like, he's the CEO. He's doing CEO things, right? What does the CEO of, Bank of America do? Does he refill receipt print paper? Does he make copies for people? No. And whenever I talk about this stuff, people always go, well, that job has value too. Yeah, absolutely. But you don't take the most important and valuable person in a company and have them doing that. That's fair. We'd all agree on that. Because guess what? Anyone can change the paper in a printer. Anyone can clean windows. And I know this is not everybody's as fast as me. Didn't say that. I said anybody can clean windows. Some people, and I've had probably 3 people in my career that just were like, this is just not a good fit for you, man. So it's like anybody can, but you know what I'm saying. But if you hire right or fire when they're not right, keep getting people, you can hire people to clean windows. That is a pretty easy job. And if you don't think it's an easy job, there are magnets out there that are cleaning windows. So, Anyway, I'm not degrading window cleaners. I'm not saying anybody who cleans windows, but I'm saying you may be amazing at cleaning windows. You may have awesome pride in what you do, but anybody can clean windows. You're the CEO of the company. You are the highest paid person in your company. A CEO of a giant corporation may take a helicopter to work. Do you think it would be even a little bit of a waste for that guy to be walking around through all the offices just changing garbage? Every one of you, unless you have mental issues, every one of you said, well, yeah, that makes no sense. He's the highest paid person. You're not paying somebody all that money to just do that. Okay, so get off the high horse for 1 second. Now look at window cleaning. What is the most basic thing that we do? We clean the window. The rest of it is what the CEO does. The idea, the running the business, the everything. If you're out there cleaning windows, instead of doing that, you're the highest paid person in your company, right? And you are doing the lowest technological or technical thing in the company. You are wasting the CEO-ness. And I'm going to put this out there again in an analogy that maybe you understand. I know you understand all this. You know what I'm saying. But if you are taking, we'll say you pay yourself $100,000 a year. Okay? I'm going to do quick maths because I am not good at the maths. So we'll say $100,000 a year. Okay? So at $100,000 a year, we have 52 weeks. Okay? It's $1,900 a week that you're getting paid. 1923 to be exact. In 1923, you work, say, 40 hours. I know you work more, but whatever. At $1,900 a week, that's $48 an hour. Would you hire a window cleaner for $48 an hour? Most of you would say no. But yet you're taking you and you're hiring you at $48 an hour. It costs you $20 to pay somebody else. The amount of work and things you do to move the company is worth the $48 an hour. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe you make $200,000 a year, whatever you're pulling out of your company. Now, with all that being said, would you go out there and hire a window cleaner for $48 an hour? You'd say no. But yet you're doing it. Not only are you doing it, but you're taking the growth and the strength and everything else that a real good, amazing CEO would do for your company and deleting that position in favor of a $48 an hour window cleaner. Okay. This is why I harp on the whole get off the truck thing. If you're an owner-operator now and you're like, this is it. This is as good as I just want this. I don't want like a bigger company. That's awesome. There is no wrong way to do this. If that's you, perfect. But if you, for at any reason, like, yeah, you know what? I want to be a little bit bigger. Maybe I do want to have crews. Maybe I, want to grow. Maybe I'm not growing like I want to and I want to get bigger and I want to. That's why. If you're still in the field, but you want to be bigger, well, I'm going to hire a salesman. Why would you do that? You're cleaning windows. That doesn't make sense. You have a salesman. You have a CEO. You have a marketing person. You have an HR person. You have all of the hats that a CEO would do, especially in a small business, and you have them cleaning windows and wasting 8 hours a day. You do not get to work 16-hour days and not fizzle out. Realistically, you have 8, maybe 10-hour days. If you're doing windows for 8, 9 hours, you have an hour left a day to do something. You're tired. You're taking the tired, most worn out person and being like, all right, now try to do stuff to make this company happen. And then you go, well, I don't know what's going on in this company. It's just about blah, blah, blah. You are the CEO. The success or failure of your company exists in your hands because you're the CEO. This is why when you see companies that have bad earnings and things, they fire the CEO and they're like, oh, there's a lot of things that go on. There is. But it all comes down to the CEO, right? What do they say? Poo goes downhill or whatever. Like the top person's the guy. Everything stops with him. It has to stop with you. Your success or failure is because of you. People go, well, no, the market's just not good. What are you talking about? You don't think there's windows out there? Every property you've ever been in, every house, every business has windows. Every single one. Every single family you've ever met in your life has windows. And you think that it's because of that? Oh, there's just a saturated market. Really? No, it's you. You did that wrong. These are the hard truths sometimes we have to hear is like, man, success or failure is not on somebody else. It's not on the weather. It's not on the economical. There's factors that can help change or help grow things. But the overall change is you. If you're taking that so lightly that you're out there cleaning windows and not doing anything, you're the reason your company isn't bigger. You're the reason that your company either is bigger. If you have an amazing company and this year you're going to do $5 million, it's because of you. You probably assembled a great team. In the beginning, that team assembled a better team. You got the positions in place. You've worked on everything. You've got your branding on. It is because of you overseeing things. Now, in the very, very big companies, like a CEO of a Coca-Cola or something, I always talk about that. There's thousands of employees. There are people making decisions that do not involve him at all. I get that. But the overall is overseen by him. This is why when you have a department, you have a department head. That person meets with all the other department heads, and then that person meets with the CEO. And there's lots of layers, right? It's like, okay, let's talk about what's going on. I don't need to talk to all 1,000 people. I want to talk to 10 people. So figure it out. Bring all the most important information to me. The value of you is more than cleaning, just cleaning. Speaking of more than just cleaning, you're going to need supplies, and shameless plug is here. I'm a rep for windowcleaner.com. It's literally what I do to make money. It's how I pay my family and how I afford my family and how I live on this planet. So if you have any supply needs at all or questions, let me know. I want to be a rep. Save my number. Are you ready? Here it comes. It's 862-312-2026. I'll give it one more time. Ready? 862-312-2026. Save it under Jersey because I'm the only Jersey you know. Anything and everything. I'm telling you, it's as easy as going in, clicking save this cart instead of checkout. That's it. Texting me and be like, yo, it's in my cart. I'll make sure everything works, fits. Any deals, discounts, everything is applied. Plus, make sure you get your free gift. And I verify address. And I do all of that stuff free of charge to you. It costs you nothing extra for me to do that. But you are awesome. You're one of the cool kids. Now you let me put the order in. I get credit for it on the back end, and I can continue to exist. And I want to exist. Anyway, that was a lot deeper there at the end than I thought. But anyway, the other avenue is the American Window Cleaner magazine. This magazine, of course, you've heard of it. It is the only window cleaning magazine on the planet. It's been around since 1986. I've had it now for it's been a while. But it's amazing. The images are cool. The just vibe of the magazine is absolutely insane. Obviously, I'm partial, but it is better now than it has ever been since 1986. Ever. So get a subscription. It's $69 a year. That's less than an hour's worth of work. Go to awcmag.com. Get the subscription. You not only get the magazine to your door every single month, but you also get the sticker sheet. The sticker sheet is custom window cleaning stickers for all of your stuff. So if you see any of the really, really rad stickers, that's because of us. Well, because of me. So there you go. Anyway, awcmag.com, the American Window Cleaner magazine. Yes, I do have a code for 20% off of Jobber. I think Jobber's amazing. It is absolutely the best CRM on the planet as far as what it can do, capabilities, the involvedness, the amount of stuff that it does is fantastic. But that code, you can always text me for direct, but it's in the comments as show notes. So anyway, go get that too. If you're looking at a CRM, it's fantastic. You know, I don't ever recommend CRMs the first 8 years of doing this show because nothing was good. And I did another demo and it blew me away. So anyway, if you got questions on it, yeah, anyway. Back to the show. We talked about mindset, success, failure, you being in charge of everything. But it all really comes down to priority. And it's the priority you put on a task. Here's the thing. As a CEO in general, we're firefighters. We put out fires, right? What happens? One of your window cleaners goes, oh man, I need our bottle of Dawn broke. I need another bottle. You drop everything, and your priority at the time is to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, Walmart, whatever, get a bottle of Dawn and drive it all the way out. You prioritized you getting some Dawn over running a company. Let that sink in. The priority of your time is your entire doing. No, they needed the soap. Don't you have people? Well, they're cleaning windows. They can't, what? Didn't we already talk about that? They're getting paid $20. Your value is more than $50. So why are you doing this stuff? Well, that's so they can keep working. They did that. This is prioritizing your time. Understand, when you stop doing what you need to do something that you think you need to do, everything stops, your progression stops, all of that. And now what happens is you're back into wasting time. And you're like, dude, it's quick. It's like an hour. Okay, it's an hour. It's also 15 minutes on the front end, 15 minutes on the back end to kind of get your brain wrapped around where you were, what you started, how you were in, what zone you were in. Now you forgot what it was and you can't get back in there because that was a time. Your brain stopped because you were driving now. Would a CEO of Coca-Cola ever bring somebody a can of Coca-Cola? Like, hey, we were going to test the formula, but I didn't have a soda. He'd be like, go get it then. Okay? Now, every time I talk about the CEO mindset, people always want to say, it's window cleaning, bro. It's not that important. Okay, cool. How much do you make a year? It's not that big of a deal to you. I know guys that have $5 million businesses, a $5 million service business where we sell time, understand the profits on something like that. And you're telling me that I should somehow dumb things down because you're not doing that? Doesn't make any sense. If you don't want the mindset, that's great. But don't somehow think that just because we're window cleaning, that we're just window cleaners. The idea of that is just ludicrous to me. I don't care the service we're doing. We own a business. We own a business. What business it does is irrelevant. You dumb down the fact that we're only window cleaners in your head. That's on you. Me, I own a business. My company does X amount. That's the idea, the mentality, the whatever. When people think, well, I'm not too good to go bring. No one said you are too good. No one said it's beneath you to go bring soap to somebody. No one said any of that. What I'm saying is you are so much more valuable doing something that's more valuable. Anybody can go pick up soap from the store. You can have your guy stop. Well, it's good to put. Yeah, it is. But they did that. Staying on task, staying in the priority window of what you do makes sense. And again, every time we talk about this, people kind of have this mental thing. They're like, oh, you're just dumb. You're just like trying to make it sound like, oh, we're too good to. No, just stop. Let's not even talk about window cleaning, but put that in any other. This is why I use analogies. Put it in the CEO of McDonald's. Put it in the CEO of Bank of America. Put it in the CEO of any big business. Are they doing that? Well, no, that's the CEO of that. Are they running a company? You're running a company. Understand that when you take that and somehow make it different for what we do, those are the ones with mediocre results. And it's cool if you want mediocre results. There are a lot of people out there. A lot of people who listen, by the way. What's up? How are you? A lot of people out there that are just happy with what they do. They're just happy where they are. They're like, yeah, this is cool, man. I make good money. It's better than working for somebody else. Am I right? Yeah, absolutely. There's no wrong way. Nice thing about business is you are running your business. You get to choose. But there are 10 times more people who want to grow or be stronger, even if they don't want to be bigger. They just want to be stronger. They want to have better customers. They want to have a better business. They want to have something that is more resistant for economic issues and a COVID thing, if that ever happens again, which I can't imagine would happen again. All of those things all come down to the CEO mindset and what the CEO of the company does. Because that person is running the company. And if you're the CEO, what's your job? I didn't just say like, oh, if you're a window cleaner, what's your job? Oh, you own a window cleaning? No, I'm not saying you own a window cleaning company. You are the CEO. What do you do? What's your job? Now, the more ways that I can kind of explain this in different things that make your brain, this is why when I talk about the dentist clothes, everybody's like, well, why'd you come up with that name? It's because when you go to the dentist, every one of you is like, yeah, this is what happens. They schedule it every 6 months. Get it? If you use that mindset and then put it to window cleaning and then you go, well, no, I mean, they can't come every 6 months. What? Like, use your brain to take something that exists that's absolutely normal and implement that into something else. And you're like, oh yeah, I could totally. Here's the thing. Let me say this. You have probably drinking milk, cow's milk. Would you milk a dog? This is good, way off there. But I would say 99.9% of you, maybe Jello, if you're listening, you might. But most people would say, no, I'm not going to drink the milk of a dog. That's gross. But where's the real separation? You're okay with drinking, you're going to drink cow's milk though? Oh, yeah, it's cow's milk. Understand there's a lot of things we do that because it's the norm, it becomes the norm. There's a lot of things just like this is you're like, well, I'm just a window cleaner. A CEO, I mean, that's for like a fancy place. It's because our minds are already there. This is the first thing I brought up in this episode is mindset. Mindset is the thing. I don't swear in the show, but your mind is your B. That's all I'll say there. Your mind is your slave. You get to create the mindset. The problem ends up being is you go, wow, yeah, I'm the CEO. And then a couple hours later, you're doing the same stuff. You thought a thought, but didn't change the mindset. The mindset is the reason we drink cow's milk. The mindset is the reason we eat chicken eggs. The mindset is why a CEO of a real company is somehow different than the CEO of a window cleaning company. The mindset. It's not a thought. It's how you think. There's a very, very big difference. And if you want to grow, if you want to be stronger, if you want a bigger company, if you want a better company, if you want to make more money, the mindset of the CEO is what the difference is. So many of you, if I said, hey, I'm going to give you $100,000 a year, but you have to pay somebody, really, you have to give it to one person. So many of you are out there like, I'd have a CEO, somebody running this company. The other one's sales. Maybe you don't like doing sales. Fine. There's lots of other things in sales. Marketing, advertising, all that's important, just like sales. But a lot of you are like, imagine if I could spend $100,000 on a CEO for this company. It would be crazy. Man, that would be amazing. Well, you're it. You're the CEO. Change your mindset. Increase your value and prioritize what you, as the CEO, does. Because if anybody else was the CEO, you would not have them do that. If you were paying somebody else $50 an hour to run your company, you would not have that person bringing dawn to somebody. You'd be like, what the heck, man? You wasted $50. But yet when you do it, somehow it's like, oh, yeah, I could do it. I'm not above that. I'll do that. I'll save money. You have 40 hours a week. I know you work more than that, but 40 hours a week. to build a company, grow a company, increase a company. When you look at the big companies that got big fast, that was the mindset. I told you guys the story. I did one job without an employee, and after that I hired an employee. I knew I wanted to run a company. I personally did not just want to be a window cleaner. Some of you want to be just a window cleaner, and that's great. And then some of you will send me messages and go, what do you mean just a window cleaner? That's important. No. I just means one, right? You're just a window cleaner. That means you're one thing. You're a window cleaner. If that's what you want to do, great. But who runs your company? Who grows your company? Well, it's grown now. You're just sitting there. Imagine if you took it and held the leash. Where could you bring it? Right? The mindset is so different in a CEO than a window cleaner. And I want you, if you want any of this stuff to grow stronger, bigger, any of that stuff, we have to work on your mindset. And that is what I challenge you to do. Not a thought. A thought is one time. Mindset. CEO versus window cleaner. Anyway, I'm off my high horse, so I really appreciate you guys being here and listening and all that stuff. Wait, before you leave, I want to beg for your orders one more time. My number is 862-312-2026. Please. I have to buy Christmas presents for my family, so please buy some supplies. Not kid, actually. It's all real. But anyway, I do want you to buy supplies from me. You're going to buy them anyway. So why not let me do it? Big orders, little orders, literally does not matter. People are always like, oh, sorry, I only have a little order. Sweet. It's an order. I want an order. 862-312-2026. Let me put all of your orders in, please. Also, go get a subscription. We have 144,000 customers in our database right now. You do not all own the magazine. Some of those are homeowners, probably. Very, very small few of those. And some of those are not in business anymore. But I still want more people to get the magazine. Get the magazine. What are you reading on the toilet? Your phone? That's gross. Read a magazine. awcmag.com. It's the American Window Cleaner magazine. Search it anywhere. Get it. It comes to your door. Real paper magazine, not PDF. A real paper magazine, and it comes with stickers. So go do that. Plus, I see your name when it comes across, and I get happy. So do that. Also, discount 20% off and free demo. I think free. Yeah. Anyway, down in the comments if you need that, let me know. Either way, I very much appreciate it. I hope you can change your mindset, but more importantly, until next week, go out there and be epic.